What have they realized about you now? What do they understand about you now? Today we're going to be finding out what their current understanding and realizations are about you. If you have someone in mind that you're curious about what they currently realize about you, what they now understand about you, it could be a friend, it could be a family, it could be a coworker, it could be someone you're in a situationship with, a relationship with, it could be anybody. We're going to have 4 piles for you to choose from. Let's go ahead and pick out the 4 piles now, okay? The first pile is the star. Pile 1 is the star. Pile 2 is 4 of cups. Pile 3 is a strength card. And pile 4 is the sun. Interesting, we got the star and the sun. Go ahead and make your choice. And if you are undecided, let me go ahead and add some objects for you right now. The object will be chosen at random. We're getting this beautiful blue stone, white and blue. A reddish stone. A flat pink stone. We have some fool's gold. Alrighty then, go ahead and make your choice or choices. You can assign each pile to a particular person. You may have multiple people in mind that you're curious to know what they realize about you now, and you can assign either a stone or a card to this person. Feel free to pause the video and make your choice or choices, and I will see you at your reading or readings. Welcome to your reading pile 1. You have chosen this star card, or you chose this beautiful blue, it might be agate, I'm not entirely sure. If you do know, leave that information down in the comment section. I welcome your comments there, okay? Put that there for you. The star. Okay. So, this person, they now realize that you are supported, that you're loved, that you're a shooting star, and that things are going according to plan for you. They now realize that your path in life is preordained. There's nothing they can do to deter it. It is what it is, and that's that. They now realize that you are a very hopeful and faithful person. Okay, you got a lot going for yourself when it comes to the divine. Okay, the divine has a plan for you, and you're fully connected. You are online. Okay, and I see that they feel that you are rebuilding, that you're healing. They realize also now that you're quite popular. Okay, you may or may not know it, but you're seen by many, or you may have lots of fans or lots of friends, something like this. They realize now that you're a guiding light for others, that you're a guiding light, or that you're following a guiding light. You're not just haphazard, you're not just random, okay? You're following a preordained path. Perhaps you are following your North Star. So they're now realizing that you are actually on point, pile 1, when it comes to honoring your inner calling, honoring what God has called you to do, okay? On this planet, you're aligned, okay? They realize that you had a big wish, and it is now being fulfilled. They also realize that you're evolving, okay? You're an evolving creature, and things are unfolding for you as they should. So this is a very beautiful energy to receive. They also feel that you're undergoing some healing right now. You're healing, you're recovering, you're having a bounce back, you're rejuvenating, okay? You're taking in the time to heal yourself and restore yourself. That's happening right now. Let's move on to your oracle cards. What do you realize about my pile 1? We're seeing bluff. Okay. And this is Jupiter in Gemini. They realize now that you're very successful when it comes to your communication skills, okay? You're very communicative and you do well. People hear you. People understand you. In fact, you're responsible for delivering a certain message. Pile 1. They realize now that you are very blessed, lucky, and fortunate when it comes to how versatile you are, okay? You're in alignment with who it is you're supposed to be. Whatever that means, whatever path you got to take, that's what it's going to be. I'm getting the message that maybe they used to doubt you. It's possible. They used to doubt that you would have a comeback, or they used to doubt that you knew what you were doing, or that you're on the right path. They realize now that you called their bluff. You called their bluff. I feel like they wanted, maybe they may have challenged you and said, you don't know what you're doing, or you're off, or maybe they showed doubt in you, or they threatened that they were going to do XYZ if you didn't do ABC, or if you did do ABC, they wouldn't do XYZ, whatever it was. They realize now that you're capable of standing your ground, and you are focused on being you, and nothing they do or say can derail it. That's what they realize about you, Pile 1. They may have told you something that was meant to throw you off, meant to make you feel insecure about your position, Pile 1. And they are shocked, because I feel like they're just like, what? They're realizing that you're standing your ground and you're being you, regardless of whatever bluff, whatever threat or mock threat that they threw your way. I feel like someone may have threatened you, but it was a mock threat, Pile 1. They weren't actually going to follow through on this threat, or they may have tried to intimidate you, and it wasn't, they were just trying to manipulate you into changing or switching course. And they're now realizing that, no, Pile 1 is a certain kind of way. Pile 1's going to do a certain kind of thing, and there's nothing I can do to derail that, okay? They're realizing that you are a creature of God, and that you're acting as God made you, and there's nothing they can do about it. Let's see what else, other message is coming through for you, Pile 1. What do they now realize about my Pile 1? Okay, we're getting a message there for you as well. Worry beads, number 9. We got Gemini again. So you might be a Gemini, Pile 1. You may have Gemini featured prominently on your chart in one of your houses at this time. Or the person that you're asking about may be a Gemini. That's possible. And if that is not the case, then something you need to know is that this person is now realizing that you are a very curious person, and you're very adaptable. Also, that you're big on communication. There's nothing they can do to dissuade you from communicating something, especially something that helps people assuage fear, that helps people with anxiety, that helps people de-escalate situations. Yeah, there's something you want to communicate. They're realizing now that it's your destiny. It's your fate to communicate certain truths that will help people in need. People in need will hear from you. And there's nothing they can do to stand in the way of that. It's your destiny. Maybe they weren't trying to stand in the way of it. They're just realizing that this is your destiny. This is your calling. All right, let's go ahead and see what other energies are coming through for you, my beautiful Pile 1. What do they not realize about my... They realize that you are very focused on what you're doing. You will let nothing derail you, including any chaos around you or anything like that, people acting up or life happening around you, is not going to dissuade you from communicating a certain message online. Or communicating a certain message. Perhaps you're writing something, or you're communicating with someone. There's nothing that can dissuade you from communicating with someone. There's nothing they can do. Nothing can distract you from this purpose or calling. You are focused, if not fixated, on putting this message out. Interesting. They also now realize about you, Pile 1, that you have a lot going on. There's a lot going on around you. You're not doing this in the absence of chaos or in the absence of stuff happening. You can do this thing. You can communicate these messages regardless of what's going on. You're very focused. You're very determined, and you're very deliberate. Nothing can pull you away from this calling that you have. You're on a trajectory. Interesting. All right, let's keep looking. And what other messages are coming in for you, pile 1? We're getting pet. I feel like they think you have a pet project, or you got a pet that you care a lot about. Maybe this thing you're doing is like a pet project of yours that you care for very much so. We got a pet here, we got a pet there too. I think someone's realized about you that you're not going to let go of this thing, that you are going to nurture it, take care of it, love it, tend to it. Maybe you are focused on communicating with your pet, and there's nothing they can do to get in the way of that. What do they now realize about my pile 1? What do they now realize about my pile 1? Kindergarten teacher. They realize now that you're a teacher. You're here to teach people things. That this communication that you are on, this communication path that you're on, is a way for you to communicate certain lessons, teach certain ideas to others, something like this. Maybe you're a teacher's pet. That's another message coming through for some of y'all. Someone now realizes that you're the teacher's pet. Maybe because of how focused you are, how good of a communicator you are, how much of a shining star you are. Someone also realizes that you may suffer from anxiety. You may have anxiety issues that you have been learning how to soothe with certain, you've been healing it. You've been healing your anxiety. You've been healing maybe your nervous tics or your fretfulness or your worries, your worrying habit, something like this. Maybe it shows up in the way that you communicate. Your nervousness comes out that way. Something like this. And they're realizing this about you and realizing that also that you're healing it. Okay? You're getting better. What do they now realize about my pile 1? I'm getting 1. Missing child. What do they now realize about my pile 1? You're getting proof. The proof's in the pudding, my dear. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting the proof's in the pudding. They're realizing that you're the real deal. You're the genuine article, pile 1. This is not a put on for you. You're not pretending. You're not, trying to be something you're not. You're the real deal. Perhaps you're the missing piece of the puzzle. And they're realizing about you that you fit right in to what it is that they're looking for, or that this image they have in their heads, that you fit right in. The proof's in the pudding, meaning your actions, your works speak for themselves. It's very clear that you belong there. It's your calling. It's what you should be doing. They've received proof of this somehow. All right, let me look for more messages. Be right back. Okay, what do they now realize about my pile 1? This is the Foretell Energy Forecasting Oracle. So guys, what did they now realize about my pile 1? What do you now realize about my pile 1? You have good health. Okay, so you are winning when it comes to this whole thing. Remember I said you're healing. You're healing. There's something you're healing. It may have something to do with your constitution. It could have to do with maybe your neurology. It could have to do, we're getting nervous tick. Something to do with your neurology. It could be psychological. Your commitment to wellness and healing is paying off. Someone is seeing you improve, for sure. Someone is watching you heal yourself and make choices that support your highest well-being. Your health is steadily improving. That's what someone is realizing about you. Pile 1. I feel like they see you eating healthy, prioritizing your health. Your health is on the rise. Things are improving for you, pile 1. So your health, your ability to communicate is on the rise. Your health is on the rise. You are proving to them that you're the genuine article, pile 1. What do they now realize about my pile 1? We got ghost. So pile 1, we're getting spirit, pseudonym, infiltrator, parapsychology, poltergeist, ghostbuster, supernatural, hidden hand, boo, bedsheet, evil spirit, haunting, past sins, unfinished business, and hiding. I feel like they're realizing now that you have ghosted them. You have now become a ghost of their past. That you're not going to reach out to them again. They're now out. You're now out of their reach. You're going to be focusing on your calling, your destiny, on healing yourself. And you're no longer going to be, dealing with them. You're going to be absent from them. Whoever this person is that you have in mind. They now realize that you're focused on your destiny, your fate, your calling. What do they now realize about my pile 1? I'll go with that one. Gratitude. They realize now that you're not being cocky about your wins, pile 1. That you're full of gratitude for everything that you have. You're full of gratitude for your ability to communicate. You're full of gratitude for your ability to sing your song, express yourself. What do they know? Okay, we'll go with that one. We're getting unconditionally. Okay. They're realizing about you, pile 1, that, we're seeing a theme here. A theme is emerging. And that theme is there's something you care about greatly. There's something you love. And it has your almost complete attention, pile 1. It's almost like that's all that matters to you. Is this pet project or this pet of yours. That's the most important thing. And there's nothing they can do about that. They're starting to realize that you're honoring yourself. You're honoring who you are by being focused on your pet or your pet project or this thing of yours, this beloved of yours. Could be a person. And that's all there is to it. In fact, they are now getting that your focus on this pet project of yours is what is healing you. It is what is moving you on a trajectory of healing. Because when you align with your path, your soul, your true path, your soul will get healed. Your body would get healed. They're realizing that your relationship with this person, thing, object, pet project, whatever it is a great source of healing for you. It's helping you unlock something. Okay, what is he now realizing about my pile 1? Next, we're getting hothead. They're also realizing that 2 messages coming through. If they try to get in the way of this, they will have to face your ire. They will have to face your anger, your disapproval. Okay. Also, I'm getting another message for some of y'all is that perhaps you used to have some sort of maybe like an anger management problem or something used to upset you, and this is helping to calm you. You pursuing this path is calming you. That's something they're starting to realize about you. So what have they now realized about my pile 1? What have they now realized about my pile 1? I think they realized too that you're on a healing journey. We have number 47. They realize now that you are turning your back on petty things. You're turning your back on petty things. Things that don't bring you much. You're done with that. You don't pay attention to that which doesn't add to your financial success. You don't pay attention to it anymore. That's another message coming in for some of y'all. I got one. We have that one. I'm getting that. Yeah, again, we're getting gratitude. Look at that. Gratitude and gratitude. They're realizing that you're very grateful for all that you have. You're grateful for your good health. That you're not playing around with it. You're taking good advantage of your good health, and you're now only focusing on that which you're called to do. Okay? You're no longer wasting your time, frittering your time away with things that annoy you, that piss you off. You no longer focus on those types of people or situations. You're focused, now that you're harvesting good health, you're now focusing on that which feeds your good health, that which enriches your life. This is how you're showing gratitude for your healing process. What are they now realizing about my pal one? My pal one, they got that one. We're getting serpent healing. Oh my gosh, guys, pal one. They are realizing that you have healed yourself. You healed yourself of any neurological problems, or maybe temperament problems where you would easily get upset. You're healing yourself of some major illness. Perhaps you suffered some kind of major illness and you've now healed yourself. You've been reborn, pile one. Okay, the serpent sheds its skin and shows a new version of itself. You have shed that old skin. You're showing a new version of yourself. You're eating healthier now, and you're using this new health of yours to do that which you're called to do. Okay, and it's showing up in your pet projects or in your pet. Perhaps you're being more loving to an animal in your life. And you're like, no, this is where it's at. And they're realizing that this is what you want to do with your good health, is to be loving towards your pet, or loving towards animals, or loving towards your calling, focusing all of your attention on a pet project or something that really, it's what you're about. You can see how big the eyes are right there, zoned in on the phone, communicating some message. Something like this has got your full attention now. You're not playing around with the advantage of life that you have. Okay, let's keep going here. What do they now realize about my pal one? Yeah, so you are focused on something you love doing. They're realizing now that this is your lifeline, in essence. This is your lifeline, pal one. You're focused on a hobby or calling. Maybe it's your music. Some of you might be musicians, or you might be into husbandry or caring for animals. You might be working at a pet shelter or an animal shelter, or you have a pet that you're devoting yourself to, or you could be a bird. You could, I'm getting definitely pets is coming through very strongly. Animals that you might be really into. Maybe it's a snake, a pet snake. You have healed yourself and you're focusing on this right now. That's really important to you. It could be your music. It could be an activity, a hobby, a skill that you're cultivating, that's your calling. It's not necessarily like the most practical, will make you all the money in the world, all this kind of thing. You don't, it's not necessarily about that for you, pal one. Okay? You don't care about that. What you care about is the thing that keeps you going. Pardon me. The thing that really is in your heart to do. That's what you're going to be doing. That's what they're realizing about you, and this is part of your healing process. This is part of how you healed yourself. You're no longer turning your back to that which... you're not wasting your time with petty nonsense. You're focusing on what you really came here to do. Getting that one for you. This is from the Astro deck. We are getting key, opportunity. What did I tell you guys earlier about a key? You have found the key. You found the key. And the key to your longevity, the key to your good health, the key to what keeps your ticker going, what you're here for, what you're passionate about. Okay? This is what they're realizing about you. For some of you, they're realizing about you that you bought a car, or you've found an apartment, or found a place that you want to live that's now all yours. Yes, you turned your back on them, and what you were offering them wasn't good enough. Maybe that's possible. A message for some of you. And you found, I see a doorway with your pet, your apartment, your house, and you started being absent from certain spaces and focusing on your home space, your pet projects, your pets. That's what's important to you. That's what they're realizing about you. Well, I'm sorry, that deck was from Signs of the Signs of the Times. Now let's pull something from the Astro deck for you. Okay, my beautiful pal one. What are they now realizing about my pal one? You have that one sticking out for you. We are getting the showstopper. Wow. Pal one. I'm getting Leo too. Leo is a confident sign. Okay? Leo is about expressing yourself too. And I remember I said something about communication. Okay, you are now more confidently expressing yourself. You don't care now about who's looking or who's not looking. You no longer care really about people's opinions. That's what I'm seeing too. You're honoring you. And since you healed yourself, this is part of how you're healing yourself as well. But also since you healed yourself, what you decided is your priority is to be confident and be you. That's it. No compromises. You're no longer going to put on an act for anyone or pretend to be this or pretend to be that or shy away from this because some people might disapprove of it or whatever. You're going to do you. You're going to follow the love of your life. You're going to follow the love of your dreams. Okay? I'm also getting they feel that you are now showing off who you are. You're no longer hiding who you are. Okay? In fact, they almost feel like you're showing it off now. No longer are you hiding. In fact, you've gone maybe from hiding or maybe, veiling a certain aspect of yourself to showing who you are and also showing people what bothers you. You no longer make apologies for that. You show people who you are. You don't make apologies for being upset about something. Okay? You're loving. You're enthusiastic about something. They're realizing that now. And you're not hiding it. You're expressing it. You're communicating it. You're all about it. Okay? Let's see what other messages are coming through. And we'll wrap up this reading. Okay, so let's take a look at what's up here. Spirit guides. What are they now realizing about my pile one? About my pile one. We have this one sticking out for you. We have the worst. Okay. They're realizing now that the worst is over for you, pile one. The worst is over. You have put the storm behind you. The dark cloud was temporary for you. Okay, we're seeing some dark clouds here as well. The dark clouds are temporary. You've turned your back on that which brought you dark clouds. You don't want to hang out with people that bring a dark storm to you, that make you feel bad, that anger you. You're now about your personal space. You're now about doing what you love. You're now about being grateful for the new life you've been given, and the way you express that gratitude is by communicating healing messages to others, or communicating by healing others. Okay, communicating to the world by saying, you know what, I'm here to care for something or someone, and it's about that for me now. I could see that it's maybe a group of people. It could be animals, like I was saying earlier. You're making the best of this healing period that you're going through. And they're starting to realize that the clouds that you experienced were temporary, or if they feel that you undergo some sort of emotional upheaval, they're recognizing that the way you heal yourself from this is by pouring yourself into your obsession with healing. Okay, eating healthy, or communicating healing messages to others, or your husbandry, or caring for animals, or playing your violin, whatever it is. They feel that you're pouring yourself into something right now, and it's the way you heal yourself. You stay away from that which angers you, and you focus on that which heals you. Okay, let's get a few more cards for you, pile one. We got more space on the board here. What do they now realize about my pile one? What do they now realize about my pile one? I'm getting this shower here for you. We have the elf. Ooh, that's beautiful. So what I'm seeing here, pile one, is they realize now that you're on a mission, and not to mess with you. Not to mess with you. Not to mess with your vibe. Not to mess with whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, because, pile one, you are not the one to take being tampered with, messed with, sabotaged lightly. Okay, anyone wants to sabotage your vibe. Anyone wants to, like, you're willing to fight. Okay, you're willing to fight for your health. You're willing to, fight anyone who tries to sabotage the trajectory that you're on, which is leading to healing, which is leading to you following your North Node, which is leading to you doing whatever it is you are here to do. They're now realizing that you're not the one to trifle with. that you have certain goals. You can see that with the bow and arrow. That no one will deter you from. You've been practicing. You're a sharpshooter. And if anyone tries to stop you, you've got a blade to cut up anyone, yes, who tries to stop that from happening. You know, it's like you become a warrior for your mission, Pile 1. You become a warrior for what it is you came here to do. You're not playing around with it anymore. Maybe you had a health scare and you're realizing I need to, you know, this person can see in you that it's super important to you that you stay focused and you accomplish what it is that you came here to do. Okay? All right, let's get a couple more cards and then we'll be done with this reading. Be right back with your message. What do they now realize about my Pile 1? Thank you, Spirit. I decided to shuffle the cards live for you guys from now on, so it's more magical, more in the moment. I think you'll enjoy that. Payday. Oh my goodness, guys. We see money here, we see money there. Okay, so they realize now that the path you're on is the path to your sustenance as well, okay? Energetically and financially. That you're about that. You're about, oh, I'm trying to get paid, okay? And I'm not going to let anyone get in the way of me developing whatever skill I need to, or you may be obsessed with trying to put your message across, offer certain services. You know, you may be a public speaker, you may be a musician, you may be someone, you may be a vet or someone who, a vet tech, a veterinarian technician, you know, whatever it is, okay? You are on target right now, Pile 1. This is what they realize about you, that you're trying to get paid. You're trying to make money. You're trying to live a good life. You're trying to be self-sustaining. You're trying to live a life of gratitude because you maybe were spared from some health concern, and now it's all about trying to do what you came here to do, and not just waffle about, okay? This is not just about, oh, I just like doing what I like, and, you know, if I get paid, I get paid. If I don't, I don't. No, you have an end goal in mind. You want to be of you want to be a service, and you want to be of value. No playing around, Pile 1. And that's what they're realizing about you, is that you're taking whatever it is you do very seriously. All right? Let's move these over just a little bit, and so we can make space for the last two cards that you have coming, Pile 1. The message is very consistent here, I feel. If you enjoy this reading, please give it a thumbs up. Be right back. What do they now realize? What do they realize now about my Pile 1? I'm getting that one. Let's take a look at what that's saying. We have crisis. They realize now that it's do or die for you, Pile 1. It's do or die. You're willing to put yourself at risk, do the hard thing. You're willing to do the hard thing. And put yourself on the line even if you have to, in order to make sure that you survive, make sure that you attain your goals. What do they now realize about my Pile 1? What do they now realize about my Pile 1? I'm getting this one sticking out here clear as day. Unknown territory. You're exactly where you need to be. Yeah, you're brave. You're being brave, Pile 1. You're putting yourself out there. You're like, I've gotten my life back on track, or I'm healthy and I'm healing myself, and I'm not going to waste the opportunity sitting around doing nothing. I'm going to take control and head out there and see what there is to see and be bold and try out what it is I was gifted with, what it is I feel called to, and put it out there. Be brave, be confident, express what it is, and it's putting you in places unknown, Pile 1. You may, for example, you may be traveling places you never have before, or doing things you never have before, or putting yourself out there in a way you never have before, being more brave with your plans. So it just feels like you're undergoing a transformation, Pile 1. A revolution where you are upping your game and you're being more bold when it comes to being you. Perhaps you fell ill because you weren't honoring who you really were in your vocation, what you're here to do, your inner calling. And so maybe your illness was a wake-up call. That's what I'm seeing as well. That was giving you a lot of symptoms, maybe an anxiety, your temper, and now it's coming. You're realizing, I need to redirect my energies. You've figured out how to do that, and you are doing it, Pile 1. This is what they're realizing about you. You're going to places unknown, trying things you never have before. You're taking risks, Pile 1. And what may seem like a state of crisis to others is not really crisis, because you're doing what a lot of people are scared to do, which is honor their inner voice and go out there and do what it is they were put here to do, and not be afraid. Okay, Pile 1? And that's the message for you as I see it. I hope it made sense. I hope it resonated. If it did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much for bringing your energy to this reading. I really enjoyed channeling this message for you. Feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. I'd love to chat with you. Take good care of yourself, okay? Bye. Welcome to your reading, Pile 2. You chose the Four of Cups. And this red, I assume, agate stone. Now, if I'm wrong, please correct me down in the comment section. I welcome your comments, as usual. The Four of Cups. So, they're starting to realize about you that you're fed up, Pile 2. You're fed up of what they're bringing your way. You're not interested, Pile 2. You're not interested. You've reached a point of satiety, of satiation. With whatever it is you used to do, that you were doing before, you've just kind of had it. You've had enough, okay? Whatever you were getting or you're having, you've had enough. They feel that you have become apathetic towards them. You don't care about them anymore. You've lost interest in them. There's a sense of disconnection with whatever, maybe an activity or person. They're realizing that whatever they were offering you is not something you're interested in anymore, any longer. At this time, at least, anyway. They are realizing that you are feeling a lot of discontent with what they have to offer, what they brought you in the past. You feel like it's just made a mess. Maybe not been right for you. Maybe you're not good at handling this person or handling the situation. Or it's just not been your cup of tea. It's not been your bag, okay? Interesting. All right, let's move on to your next message. And now I'm going to pull the cards extemporaneously. Because I feel like this is a bit more natural. Pre-pulling the cards, though it's neater and all this, is a lot of preparation that goes into it. I'd rather you guys see this part of it and be involved, so your energy can be a part of this reading. Your presence can be part of the reading as we pull the cards for you, okay? Let's see what the feeling here for you is. All right, so we have ballet shoes. And by also getting Sagittarius, so you may be a Sagittarius, Pile 2, or you may have Sagittarian vibes, or maybe have it in your chart somewhere, maybe relating to the aspect of your chart relating to your career or activities that or your personality, your character. So what I'm seeing, Pile 2, is they now realize that you are focusing on other things. You're focusing on other things. You've lost interest in them. You're no longer interested in them because it was messy. Pile 2, it's messy. And now you are focusing on honing a skill. You are focusing on building a strength along certain lines. Not the one they're offering, some other path, okay? You are becoming very graceful, Pile 2. That's what they're realizing about you, that you're becoming skilled. You're becoming world class at some skill that you are developing. You have laser focus on something else that's not them. You are pursuing perhaps the arts too. There's something they're realizing about you, Pile 2, is that there's something you do maybe along the line of the arts, of course, like we said here. Could be dance, singing, acting, something like this, maybe drawing or painting. It could be that, the arts, or even if it's not the arts, even if it's science or numbers or something like this, that you are practicing, you are getting better at it, whatever it is. I'm seeing a lot of repetition, a lot of practice. You know, we're seeing is this a releve that this woman is doing here? Or I don't know, no, that's not a plie, that's a releve, right? You know, up and down, you know, down, up, down, up. You are becoming an expert. This is something they're realizing about you too, along the lines of that you are chosen, that you're interested in. You're becoming. Let's go ahead and pull out pile 2. What are they realizing about my pile 2? Oh, that one flew out. Inheritance. They're realizing that you are focusing on what belongs to you. That they, like for instance, and there's many messages coming through. It could be, genetically speaking, you are blessed with a certain genetic heritage. And this is what's calling your name. This is what has your name on it. Okay, pile 2. We're getting Saturn in Scorpio. You are tightening things up. You're restricting something. Okay, you're becoming more rigid along the lines of the things you're passionate about, the things you feel intensely about. This is what they're realizing about you, is that you've now decided to restrict your focus to that which you're passionate about. That's it. You're no longer interested in anything that is messy, didn't work out, sloppy, trying to make you look like you are not so good, or you're also turning your back on things that you're not good at. This is what they're realizing, and you're focusing on the things that you shine at, that you excel at. They're also realizing that this could be a heritage for you. You may have come from a long line of whatever it is that you do. Let's say, for instance, you're a ballet dancer. It could be that you have dancing in your genes, or you have like physical athleticism in your genes, and this is coming out in the activity that you're currently focused on. This is what they're realizing about you, is that you're doing what your ancestors, this is in your programming, this is in your DNA. Okay, they're also realizing that you're focusing on that which you're going to be inheriting from. You're honoring that which, so for instance, you may be honoring your own parents and what they've told you, or honoring that which has said, you know what, I've got you. If you continue to work at this, you will have this. This will be yours. Just continue to work at it. What has been promised to you. You're focusing on that which has promised you something that is for sure. Okay, your legacy, your inheritance. And you're very passionate about it. That's what they're realizing, is you're very passionate about where you come from or what is innate to you. This is what they're realizing about you. That you're no longer focused on that which doesn't make sense, that which tries to, spoil your game or make you feel like you're not good enough, any of that. You're done with that, pile 2. What do they not realize about my pile 2? Okay, we're getting that one for you. Let's take a look at what we're seeing here. We have return, number 18. Okay, so what I'm getting here, pile 2, is that they now realize that you're returning to where you came from. You're returning to your roots. You're returning to where it is you came from. Maybe you tried to fit in somewhere and it didn't work out. And that's what they're realizing about you, is that you were trying to see if you could do what they do, but it was just turning out messy. It wasn't working out correctly, and you have now moved on. Returning back to whence you came, which is your heritage, your legacy, and you're getting really, you're focusing on that, honing in on that, becoming better at that. This is more true to you. Okay, you pile 2. What are they now realizing about pile 2? Thank you, Spirit Guides. We're getting number 13. So we have 9, 8, 18, 13. We got 4. For whatever that's worth. Maybe you're looking for certain numbers. We have Dream Thief. Refusal of the call. So what they're realizing about you, pile 2, is that you are not interested in what they're offering. You're not interested. I feel like someone tried to offer you something. It could have been a relationship, or maybe a love, or something like this. And they're realizing that you don't want it. You don't want that. You turned your back on it, and you've refused them. You're holding on to that which matters the most to you. Okay, you have a dream, pile 2. You have a dream, and it's almost like it could be like an ideal version of the world that you have in your mind, the way you see the world. That is your ideal, pile 2. You're like, no, I'm jealously guarding that which I feel is important, the way I think things should be, where I come from, that which is mine. That which is mine, pile 2. That's what you're saying. They're realizing this about you. That you're not about whatever they were giving, because it wasn't yours. Maybe that's another thing. It's not yours. It doesn't work. And you're holding on to that which is yours, because it's very valuable to you. End of story. All right, let's see what other energies are coming through for you. Move on to the memory cards here. What are they now realizing about my pile 2? That one's standing out. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these energies coming through for you. The first card we're getting here is homemade. Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting this vibe. They're like, oh my gosh, this person's realizing about you that you are of your people. You are a product of your heritage. You are a product of that place. And you know, they view you as returning to your roots, perhaps in your behavior, or maybe you're relocating there, maybe to a place, or in the way you carry yourself, or the way you behave. You're like, I'm going to stick with where I come from. I'm going to stick with the people I come from. I'm going to stick with the values that I come from. Okay? They may also view you as being, they're realizing that, you know, everything you do is authentic and original. Okay? It comes from you. You're not a copycat. Okay? You know, you're definitely from your ancestors. Okay? Don't get me wrong. So in a sense, you are, you know, propagating those values. But at the same time, what you do is coming from the heart. It is you, right? Your genetics are you, so therefore you're authentic. We're getting an encounter while traveling. So I do get that you guys, some of you are just traveling home. Okay, you're returning to where you came from. Whence you came, you are maybe going back to your homeland or something like this. This is what they realize about you now. Is this is what you want. This is the trajectory that you're on. You're honoring your roots. You're honoring what matters to you most. Okay, let's go ahead and pick a couple of cards here. What do they realize now about my pile 2? What do they realize now about my pile 2? I'm getting another one. We have message chalked on sidewalk. So you sent a message to them. You're making it things very clear, pile 2, to them. The message is crystal clear. Yeah. And it says you're a gambler. They're realizing about you now that you took a gamble on them. You took a gamble on them. You decided to go ahead and, you know, take a gamble and see how things are going to turn out. It was merely a gamble. And it's made you realize who it is you are and where it is that you actually and truly belong. Because you took a gamble and it was a mess, okay? That was the result. You have now come to realize that where you came from is what makes sense. Your roots, your genes, where your inheritance is going to be coming from is what makes sense for you. Okay, that's what this gamble taught you. You may have traveled to a different country, or maybe married into a different family from a different culture or background, or you may have gone to a school in a different location, or maybe moved to a completely different town where you don't know anybody. You know, I don't know what the scenario might be for you, pile 2, but they're now realizing that you were just gambling, taking a gamble that things might work out, but they didn't. You've lost interest, you're apathetic, it didn't work out, it's messy. And so now you're returning to whence you came. Okay, let's see what other energy. What do they now realize about my pile 2? We'll go with that one. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. You see? They're not realizing that you were just checking things out. You were just checking things out. And this is bringing to mind you being new in town somewhere, checking someplace out to see how it was going to turn out. And you learned it doesn't work. And this is what is sort of encouraging this return. You chose to experience life as it comes, to see what was going to happen, to see how it would turn out. And you've got the information you needed. The message, you know, they say the message is on the wall, right? The message is on the sidewalk in your case because you were on a journey. You saw the messages, you read the messages, and now you know you need to go back to where you came. That is your comfort zone. And in fact, some of you may even have an inheritance coming to you. And that's what they are aware of. They're aware that you have an inheritance coming to you. Perhaps there is land that's going to be given to you in time, or property. And this is really where that generational wealth is. That's where you need to be. This is what they're realizing about you. You have drifted away from them. What do they now realize about my pile 2? What do they now realize about my pile 2? Thank you, spirit guides. Okay, oh, that one fell out. Eager to talk. We have subconscious. All things hidden, limiting beliefs, self-sacrifice, healing, endings, closure, spirituality, isolation, sorrow, intuition, dreams, unseen realm. So, my beautiful pile 2. We're getting Pisces in Neptune, or Neptune in Pisces. They're realizing now that you're very, Neptune and Pisces, these are dreamy energies we're talking about here, okay? Has to do with your emotions, has to do with, your imagination. They're realizing that you're very imaginative and you're also very emotional. And so because you are these things, you're tied into your subconscious, your connection to your subconscious is very powerful, pile 2. You can see the things that are hidden. You have a very powerful intuition. That's what they're realizing about you. And your spidey sense has told you you need to turn to whence you came. You went out, you were brave, you were an explorer, right? You traveled, you've checked out what you weren't native to. And you're very sensitive and very intuitive, very powerfully so. And you've received messages in your dreams. Your intuition has told you. This is what they're realizing about you, is that the reason you brought things to an end. For some of you, you brought something to an end. And there's closure here. It's because you realize that perhaps they are messy. And you now honor where you came from because they're not messy where you're from. They're not messy like they are, whoever this person is. That's just a message for some of you. Let's see what else is coming through. What do they now realize about my pile 2? Oh, excellent. A lot of energy coming through, very palpable. Cloud chaser, okay. So they now realize that, my pile 2, that you're only going for that which approves of you. You're only going for people who like you, people who approve of you, people who will say you're great. That's it. You're not interested in people who talk shit about you, who are trying to rain on your parade, or saying, oh, you suck, or whatever. You're not interested in that. You're going to focus on the people who can see how great you are. You're going to focusing on the people who want to hear more from you, who want to see you, who want to hear from you. You're realizing for the sake of your sanity, pile 2, for the sake of your emotional health, you need to be around people who actually like you, who actually think you're great. There's no time or energy for anything else other than I'm liked. That's where you're at. And where you're liked is where you're from. People who get you, people who understand you. Okay? What do they now realize about my pile 2? Something hidden. Yeah, they see now that you are preferring to be hidden. You're preferring to stay out of the way. You no longer want to show them who you are. You no longer want to come around them, show them who you are, pile 2. You don't. You prefer to stay out of the way. You prefer to go away. They also realizing that you're hiding things from them. You don't share everything about yourself with them anymore. Maybe you used to. Or maybe they just feel like you're secretive. They're reading between the lines. They're realizing maybe you don't say much. And so therefore you're not sharing much of yourself. And that means, of course, they understand there's got to be something, some news regarding you or some details of your life, but you don't share any of it. You just stay mum. And you focus on people who like you. You're done with people who are like, oh, well, you suck at that. Well, maybe it's because you're messy. Right, pile 2? You're thinking, no, you have a way that doesn't jive with how my talents, my values, who I am, it doesn't jive. So it makes me look messy. I'm not messy, I'm good. That's what you're thinking, pile 2. They're starting to realize now that you're avoiding them and you're focusing on people who like you. Okay? Spirit guides, what do they now realize about my pile 2? I'm going to start pulling the cards out more extemporaneously. Like I said, I feel like this this live energy. You guys might enjoy this more. Stick with doing it this way from now on. We have feather messages. You know, we got messages here. We got message there. Message on the sidewalk. They feel that they're realizing, pile 2, that you're sending them a message. You're sending them a message by staying away. You're sending them a message by avoiding them and, you know, focusing on that which supports you, likes you, views you as belonging. You're sending them a message without saying anything, really. You're sending them a message by holding on to that which is your dream. You're not going to allow anyone to steal your dream away from you, pile 2. It feels like this person, they're realizing now that it's like we're trying to take the dream of the world that you had, that you prefer to have, away from you. And you're like, nope, I'm holding on to my world. I'm not going to let you take it away from me. That's something that's a message coming through for you. Okay, so let's take a look at your message coming through. Spirit guides, what do they... And if you're enjoying this reading, please give it a thumbs up for me real quick. Thank you. Spirit guides, what do they now realize about my pile 2? Just one, please. Okay, we have someone on a roller blade here. Okay, wow. They're realizing about you, pile 2, that you are very skilled. Yeah, so I'm saying that they're realizing about you now that you're one of the young, cool crowd. That you're out there having fun. You're out there getting really good at what it is you truly enjoy. Things that they think youngsters do. You know, that's a message coming through for some of y'all. I'm also getting that, you know, I'm seeing someone who's older here. Look, someone here, an older, they're balding, and yet they're like, I'm getting the feeling, pile 2, that they think you are staying true to your inner child. Staying true to your inner child. And doing what it is that your inner child wants to do and mastering it. You're not just puttering around, you're mastering it. That's what they're realizing about you. That you're doing what makes you super happy and you're getting extremely good at it. And that's a really good message, pile 2. I'm happy for you that you're doing this, okay? You're honoring your inner child. You're honoring that which makes you... and you're becoming an expert at it, or you're an expert at it, but you're honoring that which makes you happy. They may feel like what you do is childish or something like this, but the truth of the matter is that you're honoring your inner child. And they feel that you're of the younger crowd. It's possible this person is older than you. Let's take a look at the next set of energies coming through. What do they realize now about my pile 2? We're getting that one. We're getting telescope. Okay. They're realizing now that you've got long-range vision. We're getting galaxy, telephoto, binoculars, astronomy, planetary system, lens, moon, dark matter, UFO theory, satellite observatory, expanding universe, asteroids, spying, night vision, and science. They realize now that you're not concerned with earthly matters. You're not concerned with the little petty, you know, like things in the here and now. That you got your sights set somewhere far off in the distance, the stars. Maybe you're into astrology, or you're into, you know, mysticism, or you're into space travel, or you're into, maybe you're a sci-fi buff, or you're into astronomy or something like this. They feel like you're caught up deep into your personal interests, pile 2. And also you have long range vision. They feel that you have a trajectory, pile 2. There's something you want, and it's a long way off. It's a long way off, but you're heading there. You're planning on getting there. You're gathering intel. You're focusing in on it, and they're realizing you will get there someday because you're focused on it. They also feel that you maybe look at things from afar. You don't like to be close to things, close to them. Could be that they're realizing now that you like to look at them from afar and keep your distance. Okay, that's another message coming through. Okay, spirit guides, what do they realize about... Oh my goodness, let's I haven't even asked the question yet. What do they realize about my pile 2? Okay, we'll go with that one. Shot right out. Asia, oh my goodness. Okay, you know, I'm seeing like fortification. You can see the Great Wall of China here, and you've seen these castle walls. Guys, they're realizing now that you got your guard up. You got your walls up. You're not interested in maybe letting them in. In fact, you're keeping them out. You're gatekeeping them out of your life. That's possible. That's a message coming through. They're realizing now that you like to travel, okay? That you've gone off somewhere far away. They're realizing now that you like to go traveling, checking out far off places. I see someone drifting off. I see someone walking off into the distance. We've seen the Great Wall of China, especially when we look at it based on, I'm in the US right now, okay? This is Asia. This is far away from me. This is China. And then we see someone on a boat. So they feel that you like to travel to far off places, okay? And if that's not accurate for you, then I feel that this person, they realize now that you have fortified yourself. You fortified your situation. Could be both. Could be both messages are for you. You have put up your walls. You're not allowing interlopers, haters, people who don't get you, people who cause a mess, all this. You don't want them in your territory. Okay? Interesting. You've staked out your territory. For some of you, I'm noticing they're realizing now that maybe you bought some land or you bought a home and you stay in your home. Okay? You don't want to venture out. Maybe that's possible. So both messages are coming through. You like to travel, and maybe where you like to travel is not to them. You don't like to travel to them, but maybe you like to travel somewhere else. Also, I'm getting that you've insulated and fortified yourself from their attacks or their energy, something like this. So what do they realize about my pile 2? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, we're going with that one. We have incantation. The story the parrot told, counting his money dubiously. Looks like it's a story here. Incantation. So they're realizing now that you're going to repeat whatever it is they say. If you say, if they tell you something, you're going to tell. You're going to tell on them. The parrot is the it is the poster child for a tattletale, right, guys? They're realizing now that you would tell people when anything happens, maybe if they do something wrong or they say something off or whatever, or they do or say anything around you, you're going to tell people what happened. You're going to recant what was said, okay? They're realizing that now. That you be careful what they say around you. That's what they're realizing. Be careful what they do or say around you because you will tell. So in a sense, they may be feeling guarded about you, pal, too. Maybe feeling guarded about you. That's what they're realizing about you. Maybe you got your guard up and they got their guard up as well. Okay? Because they're realizing that you will tell the story exactly like he is. The parrot copies exactly, almost, right? You're like a recorder, word for word. This is what they're realizing about you. So guys, what are they realizing about my pile 2? Ooh, we got one shooting out. Let's take a look. We have number 12. Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys. I feel like you hit the road. You went somewhere. Maybe you went to Asia. You gone somewhere far away. Maybe you gone back home. You hit the road, Jack. You hit the road, Jack. You hit the road, Jill. You're gone. They're realizing about you that you moved on from them. You moved on. They are not where it's at. They're realizing now that they are not where it's at for you. You moved on from them. That they're not it. That's what they're realizing. That you've marked them as, you're not it. And what they see is your back, pile 2. They see your back. You turned your back on them. You can see the back of the bird, the back with the backpack, the back of this lady, back. You're moving on. Okay, even here, your silhouette. They're realizing that you've turned your back on them, pile 2, that you moved on with your life. Okay, that's what they're realizing about you. Okay, Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my pile 2? Go with that one. Tail cards. Let's take a look at what the energy is. We have collaboration. Okay, I love that. They realize now that you moved on to where things work for you. You moved on to sync up and link up with people and places that make sense for you, that match your energy and match your vibe. It says here, collaboration. Great things are rarely achieved alone. When egos are set aside and mutual support takes the lead, extraordinary things can be accomplished. So, my beautiful pile 2, they're also realizing that you're working on something. You're building on something. You're building something with others of like mind, like vibe, like energy. You are the missing piece to someone else's puzzle. It's not for them. They're realizing that you are a puzzle piece. There's nothing wrong with you. It's not that you can see the spill here with the paint. It's a big mess. They're realizing, oh, it's a big mess because they don't belong here. Pile 2 doesn't belong here. That's why it's a big mess. They've gone to find where they click, and they have found it. They feel that you have found people are like-minded and work well with you. That you were never the problem. It's that you were in the wrong place, and you've moved on and found your place in the world. Well, you found a place that works better for you. Okay. What do they realize now about my pile 2? Thank you. What do they realize now about my pile 2? We're getting that one. Ooh, we're getting planning, destiny. Okay, so pile 2, they're realizing now that perhaps some of you, this could be an ex, maybe things didn't work out with this person because, they're realizing now there wasn't anything wrong with you. It just wasn't a good match. And they're realizing now that you found someone else, possibly. Okay, this is just a message for some of y'all, okay? You found a situation in life where you're being cherished and honored and being found to be the right match. You're the right match. You are the well sought after bride. Someone put a ring on it, okay? Someone is claiming you. Someone is saying, come on, you're my bride. That is one of the ultimate forms of claiming, is to say, I want to marry you. Or so it could be a marriage, a literal marriage, like a wedding, or it could be like a contract that you signed with another company, or another place that you married yourself to, or maybe a vocation that you married yourself to. They're realizing that you've devoted yourself to something, and and it fits and matches perfectly for you. That's what they're realizing, pile 2. All right, let's go ahead and move on. We have a few more cards left here for you. What are they realizing about my pile 2? Pile 2. We got this one here. It's been sticking out for a while. I'm going to go with that one. Your ancestry. What did I say? What did I say, pile 2? They're realizing that you are focusing on what works for your ancestry. Okay? You're going back. You're connecting to your roots. You're going back, you're connecting to that whence you came, where you came from. Perhaps you're going back to your country, your homeland, you're living life now in a way that honors the way you were raised. You're embracing values that are derived from your culture or your background. Okay? You are staying focused on that. Okay? That's what they're realizing about you, pile 2. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. We're getting a lot of synchronicity here. We got 3 more cards left for you here, pile 2. Let's take a look at what the last few energies are. What are they realizing now about my pile 2? I'm seeing a marriage too for some of you. I'm getting like a bride feel. They're realizing now that you've married someone who you're a better match for. This could be an ex. So guys, and you're no longer talking to them, and you're with people who like you. They've seen your social media. They've seen that you have your own crowd, people that are supporting you, who like you, who are saying, yeah, I love that, I love that, I love that. Okay? Spirit guides, what are they realizing now about my pile 2? Spirit guides, what are they realizing now about my pile 2? We got this one. Pull yourself together. That is number 41. Pull yourself together. Yeah. So, pile 2. I feel that they're realizing now that so you've not only pulled away, okay? Yeah, I feel like maybe you may have come undone around this person at one point. Things kind of unraveled when you were dealing with this person in the past. When they watched you unravel, because you were not in a situation that worked for you. And you since moved on, and they're realizing about you now that you needed to move on so you could pull yourself back together and marry yourself to a situation that works better for you. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your last two cards now. So guys, what do they realize now about my pile 2? Okay, we have Rabbit Challenge. Okay. So pile 2, they realize now that you were a challenge. You weren't easy. You weren't easy to deal with. That it was a challenge for you. It wasn't easy. That you were doing everything you could to try to make this work, but it was a conflict-prone situation with them. And they're realizing about you now that they were challenging who you were. The challenge was about who you were, your identity. They realize now that it doesn't work. It doesn't work, that there's a clash there between you and them. Maybe you were too alike with this person. Maybe there was too much alike. That's a possibility. They're realizing now that that you were never going to be exactly like them. It's almost like they wanted to break you down and turn you into them in a way. But you're like, nope. Every move they made, you blocked it. Everything they try to do to, break you, you put your arm up, you defended yourself. You flipped them off. You pushed them away. You blocked. You countered. It was just never going to be simpatico between you all. This is what they realize about you now. Okay. Spirit guides, what do they realize about my pile 2 now? Spirit guides, what do they realize about my pile 2? Ooh, that one jumped out. Lastly, we're getting grounding. Go deep. Explore your roots. What did I say, guys? Finding your roots. They're realizing now that you have settled into, oh my gosh, I need to familiarize myself with who I really am, where I come from, what I'm about, and read up on me. For some of you, they're realizing now that you're reading up on about who you are, where you come from, what you're about. You're going deep. You're no longer going to be skirting the surface, trying to see if you fit in somewhere where you don't fit in. You figured it out. You're going where there's an inheritance coming to you. That's where you're focused. You're focused on maybe working at a place where they're going to include you as part of the foundation of things rather than as an add-on or something like this. Okay? They're realizing now that you are taking a chill pill away from them. You're resting. You're deep breath, getting into you, who you are. You're grounding yourself within yourself. You're no longer confused. You're not lost. You're not drifting. You're not gambling. You're done with that. You moved away from that. It didn't work. And now you're reconnecting to who you are. You may be marrying someone, if it's a marriage, you may be marrying someone who's like you. Personality-wise, values-wise, maybe from the same culture, same background. If this is a situation with an ex, or you may be just in a relationship with someone who's very similar where there's no clashes anymore, or you have pulled away and you're now studying up about who you are, honoring your inner calling and what it is you want to do, and you're getting better and better and better at it. You're mastering your inner child. Your inner child energy is coming out to play. It's in full effect, and you're going where you're loved, where people are, hitting like on you and going, ooh, you are a girl, you are a guy, we love you. And you're building something with people who it makes sense to build with, where it's a match for you, where you are the piece they're looking for. You are the missing piece in their puzzle. You're no longer in a clashing type of scenario with them. Okay. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 2. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If it resonated, please give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate a comment down below. If you don't have anything to say, then drop me a few emojis. I'd really appreciate it. It helps the algorithm boost the channel and help us find our soul tribe. Thank you so much for watching, and take very good care of yourself, okay? Bye! Welcome to your reading, pile 3. So you chose the Strength card and this pink stone here. Okay. Beautiful. So they're realizing about you, pile 3, that you are very loving, or that you are very loved. You are caring, nurturing, or that you're very cared for and you're being nurtured at this time. That's possible. They're also realizing about you, pile 3, that you have a lot of compassion, or that you're being treated compassionately. And we're going to get more information about this as we go along. This is just the first sort of like psychic impressions I'm getting. All right, so we have the strength card. You've chosen the strength card here. Yeah, again, strength is love, pile 3. The strength card is all about love. The love of life, the love of your challenges, the love for yourself, using the love for yourself to overcome certain challenges. You know, if you don't care about yourself, if you don't care about something, maybe the love for your child. Strength is basically like, I'll give you an example. Maybe someone has some sort of limitation. Okay, maybe they fall ill, or they have some sort of accident, or they gain a lot of weight or something like this. They're obese, and the thing that keeps them going, they just decide one day, I'm going to change this. I'm going to do better because I love my child and I want to play with my child someday. Or because I love myself and I want to see myself do better. Love overcomes a lot, pile 3. They realize about you now, pile 3, that you have a lot of courage and that you have a lot of conviction. You're very convicted when it comes to something. That you're determined to overcome something, or to be something, or to fix something. You are very determined and very convicted. Okay? They also realize about you, pile 3, that you have a lot of inner fortitude. You have a lot of inner strength. And that you take control of situations. You don't let situations take control of you. You take control of situations. You could be taking control of a situation in your life right now, the challenge that you're dealing with. And they're realizing about you now that you're not going to take it laying down. You're going to stand up to it. You're going to overcome this challenge. You're going to be strong. You're applying your inner will, your inner strength. Pile 3. They realize about you now that you have good instincts. You have really good instincts. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to your oracle cards. Let's get more information. What do they realize now about my pile 3? Thank you. And I'm going to pull the cards extemporaneously from now on, because I feel like this makes sure that the energy is live. Your energy is going to be incorporated into the reading more, and you can just watch the card be drawn, and that way be more involved in the process. I feel like this makes it more of a live feeling reading. I think you'll like this better. We're getting Repairman. Exactly. They realize now that you're determined to fix something. You're determined to heal. You're determined to reset or, repair something, perhaps yourself. That you're determined also to make things right. Maybe because of how much you love someone or love something. Maybe you love yourself, or you love someone or something. You are determined to mend and restore maybe a relationship, or mend and restore yourself, or a certain situation. They feel that you may be even upgrading yourself. This is what they realize about you now, that you're upgrading who you are. You're not going to just settle for the baseline default. You're going to push for more. You're going to push for better. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your next oracle cards here. Spirit guides, what do they now realize about my pile 3? That one. Excellent, thank you. We are getting influence, which is Mercury in Aquarius, number 7. Ooh, 6, 7, 8. Look at that. You're following certain steps for sure. They're realizing now that you have a plan. And you're following certain steps. You're taking things in order. Maybe things are slightly out of order, but you're following those steps regardless. You're thereabouts. You're following certain steps. Okay. They're realizing that you are communicating a very unique vision that you have. Yeah, I'm seeing signs of healing again here with the snake for sure. You're going through some kind of healing process, pile 3. They realize that about you now, that you're healing who you are, you're healing how you express yourself, and you're healing yourself by being more of who you are. Maybe you're fixing broken communication patterns, and you're honoring who you are at the same time. This could have to do with a relationship. Okay, they may realize that you're wanting to fix maybe the relationship with them or a relationship in your life by learning how to communicate better. That's a message coming through. Okay, let's take a look at your next oracle card here. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my pile 3? We have apotheosis. Apotheosis meaning the highest point in development, or the build-up or culmination of something, coming to that zenith point, reaching that zenith point. So pile 3, they realize about you now that you're going for the highest and the best. You're not going to settle, like I said, for that default baseline. No. So for instance, if you've had some sort of accident or something like this, you're not going to accept being, like, disabled. No. You're going to work your muscles, you're going to do the therapy, you're going to practice every day to bring yourself back up to not only walking, but athletic, downright athletic. Okay, pile 3? They see now that you're reaching for the highest and the best. You're reaching for the highest point in your development. They're realizing now that you may have reached your highest point in your development. You're upgrading yourself, pile 3. They're realizing that you're upgrading yourself and you're reaching for the best. It could be when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your body, when it comes to the technology that you use, the way you process things, the way you go about things, the way you communicate. A lot of things could have. What do they realize now about my pile 3? Oh my goodness, I haven't even finished asking yet. What do they realize now about my pile 3? Thank you, Spirit. I'm going with that one. We have Spirit of the River. Movement towards adventure. Okay. Yeah, I feel like they're realizing about you now that you're not afraid. Remember I said strength is about having courage. You're bold. Pile 3. You're bold. You're making movement. If you were inert, you weren't moving much, you're going to be moving now. They feel like you're moving now. You're no longer sticking around. You're no longer, hanging about. Or maybe not sticking around, but just hanging about or being passive. You're making moves towards big moves, towards big things. Like I said, you're reaching for the highest and the best. And this means you got to go on an adventure. You're realizing that you are being brave and you're going on an adventure to find the highest and the best. This is what they're realizing about you, pile 3. Guides, what are they realizing now about my pile 3? We'll go with that one. And this one. Okay, so we have clash. Okay, all right. And work. Okay. So this may have something to do with your career. Okay, this may have something to do with your career. They're realizing about you now that maybe things weren't working out at your job or with your career because maybe you felt like you needed to be more and upgrade yourself so you can get more out of your career. Maybe there was a clash at your job and they saw that the way you chose to react to this clash at your job was to say, I'm going to go back to school, or I'm going to earn a certificate, or I'm going to learn more about the situation, or I'm going to add on more skills. Okay? I'm going to learn how to do more things so that I can be bigger than this situation. I can be bigger than this clash. So there will be no more clashes. I'll be maybe the boss, or I'll be more experienced or more knowledgeable. So they feel, they're realizing about you now that you're responding to a conflict or a clash or some sort of accident or something that went wrong or some sort of limitation by upgrading yourself. Okay, let's get the rememory. Let's pick a couple of storymatic cards for you. Okay, what are they realizing now about my pile 3? What are they realizing now about my pile 3? Okay. Wild card. Another gold card. Wow, wild card. I love that in flat tire. So pile 3, they're realizing that you're a wild card. You're not who they thought you were. You're not, pile 3. They're realizing that they thought you were whoever they saw on the surface They're like, oh, you're just, pile 3 is just this. Pile 3 just does that, or is just like this. You're shocking them right now, pile 3, because you're showing that you're versatile. You're showing that you're on the move. You're showing that you are, you're a wild card. You can be anything. You can be anyone. You're not just, I'll give an example. Maybe you are a nurse and, maybe you're dealing with some conflict at work and they're viewing you as you're just a nurse, and this is how I'm used to dealing with you. This is who you're going to be. And you are shocking them by maybe going back to school and becoming an anesthesiologist or something like this. And they're realizing, oh my gosh, they're not going to remain a nurse forever. They're going to become an anesthesiologist, and I'm going to have to deal with them, or maybe not deal with them as an anesthesiologist. Maybe you'll be moving on to some other place. I see apotheosis, you moving on beyond getting out of there. So they're realizing now that you're getting out of there, and you're doing it by upgrading yourself and going on an adventure, being brave, being bold. This is born out of love for yourself, pile 3. Okay? They're realizing that you're doing this because you are tired of maybe having things go wrong at your job, or things go wrong in the relationship. Or maybe you're doing this because you are tired of having car issues and you want to be wealthy enough to take care of your car issues or something like that. You're just not going to be that sitting duck anymore. They're realizing you don't want to be the sitting duck anymore, pile 3. They're realizing you don't want to be bare bottom level where, you can be shat upon, or you can, be taking crap, or, you don't want to be the grunt anymore. You don't want to be base level, baseline. You want to ascend. You want to be brave. You're ascending, and you are becoming something else, something amazing, something glittering, something glitteringly high. Pile 3. Okay, let's see what other messages are coming through for you. What do they realize now about my pile 3? Got that one. Ascension. Oh my, guys, what did I say? You're ascending. You're ascending, pile 3. You're going next level. And you're getting out of this sphere. Like, I feel like this might, remember I gave that example earlier with the nurse, right? You're a nurse, and maybe one of the other nurses is giving you a hard time. They're clashing with you, and you're showing them in a way. Okay, maybe you don't mean to, but maybe you do. But you're realizing, I need to transcend and ascend beyond this conflict, this petty conflict, and go to a higher level. I can't be here squabbling with this low-level energy. They're realizing that you are ascending and that you're going to higher heights. You're leaving them behind down there. You're leaving them behind. You're getting up out of your chair and you're going on an adventure. And they're like, what? Wow, pile 3, kudos to you. Bravo. Gingbo. What do they realize now about my pile 3? Great, we have that one. We have Saturn. Pile 3, they realize now that you have what it takes to get where you're going. That where you're going will require discipline, and you have it. You're very responsible. You're very business-minded. Perhaps you're creating a big business or something like this. You have the power to overcome Saturnian energies, restrictions, obstacles. You have the power to ascend beyond that. And that your discipline will get you there. They see that you're very responsible. They're realizing that now about you, that you have a lot of integrity, you have a lot of patience. Perhaps you came from a lower level rank and now you're ascended already. That may have already happened for some of y'all. That you have the discipline and you have applied certain structure to yourself, that you're able to accomplish great things and break beyond, stuck energies and inertia. You're powerful, pile 3. That's what they're realizing about you. And that whenever, the way you respond to conflict and clashes is you ascend. You rise above, too. That's a message coming in, too. People are realizing, or this person's realizing, that you rise above petty behavior. When someone's being petty with you, you're like, I'm better than this. I'm better than you. I'm going to go higher up. Higher, higher, higher. All right, let's take a look at your next card here, pile 3. What do they realize about my... What do they now realize? What do they realize now about my pile 3? That one. We have infinity. Okay, 43. They're realizing that the sky's the limit for you, pile 3. The sky is the limit for you. You are going places, pile 3. You're going places. You're not meant to stay stuck at lower vibrational energies, whether it's bickering with people, fighting or arguing and all this. You're meant to transcend all that and do love. You're loving energies only. You're pure. You're like a pure being of light. You're working through gross matter, and you're becoming a creature of light. You're becoming less material and more spiritual. Okay, that's another message coming through. Some of you may have ascended on your spiritual journey. This might not just be only about your career and ascending, climbing the career ladder. It could just be spiritually too. Okay, spiritual growth. Your awareness is climbing. You're becoming a bigger person. You're rising above petty clashes and arguments and petty little problems. Your energy is becoming better, pure. This person is also realizing that you have unlimited potential, pile 3. You have unlimited potential. You are constantly growing. You know that Japanese term, kanai, constant and never-ending improvement. You are always improving. You're always growing. You're never going to be stuck. You're never going to be down here. You're always going to be moving forward. That's what they're realizing about you now. So, what do they realize about you now, pile 3? We're getting that one. Let's take a look at what's coming through. We have choose your weapon. Oh my gosh, guys. This person realizes that you're very powerful. You're very powerful. You use the pen too. Whether it's the pen or the sword, you're skilled at both. So another analogy that's coming to mind is that you're book smart and you're street smart. That's what they're realizing about you. They're realizing that you can excel at academics and you can excel when it comes to being savvy on the streets and how people, dealing with people, dealing with life challenges or people attacking you. You're not you're not a nerd and don't know how to deal with people, or you're not like street smart and you're dumb when it comes to the books. You're all of it. You're all of it, pile 3. That's what they're realizing about you. You are all of it, pile 3. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at your next energy. I haven't even asked the question yet. What do they realize about you now, pile 3? Okay. What do they realize now about my pile 3? What do they realize now about my pile 3? No one's talking to me. Let's take a look. It says bears. Oh my gosh. Pile 3, who are you? You're powerful, pile 3. Oh my gosh. They realize now that you're very, very formidable. Okay? You're formidable. You can stand up to a lot. You're not easy to take down, pile 3. You're not. You stand strong in whatever it is you do, whether it comes to love, whether it comes to your job, whether it comes to, being disciplined and working through, stagnant or stuck or broken situations. You're very strong, pile 3. You're not one to be messed with, too. Okay, they're starting to realize also that, that this is who you are on the inside. You're not easily, life, you don't back down from life. You go on an adventure, you step up to whatever the challenge is, no matter where you're at. You could be the bottom of the barrel and you're working your way up and you're going to get to the highest heights. Even though you're starting from maybe a disabled position, you're going to be flying, in the skies, from disabled to flying, levitating. Can you imagine? This is what they think of you. This is what they realize about you now. That you can start at the bare bottom and reach the skies. That you're very powerful. You're very protective. You're protective of that which you love and care for and care about. And that you have the strength to carry through your vision and do what it is that you need to do. Wow, pile 3. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at What else is coming through for you? What do they now realize about my pile 3? Let's take a look at this energy here. We have number... Oh, it doesn't have a number. Okay. So, pile 3... Wow. They realize now that you have a really good career. Okay? Or that you are... The lights are on you. It's your 15 minutes of fame. You're going to make it to the big house, the big game. Okay? Your works, the things you create, are going to be seen by many. And people are going to admire and marvel. Admire them and marvel at them. They realize now that you are up there with the greats. They may realize that you're a model. Maybe some of you guys, you've gotten a modeling contract, and they realize now that you're a model. They realize now that it's all eyes on you, that you're doing really well. The lights are on you, the show lights. You know, Broadway, you know, acting, whether it's acting, modeling. They realize now that you're being seen and you're being picked and sampled as some of the best specimens to throw out there for people to look at. It could be you, or something you make, or something you design, or something your products, or something like this. They realize about you now that you're picture worthy, that you are good to look at, and that you are a hot item. They realize now that you're really good. Also, I feel like they feel like you have really good fashion sense. You know how to dress. You know how to look like a model. You just look really nice, pile 3. You're a model citizen. That's what they're realizing about you, pile 3. That you're a model citizen. Also, that's another message coming through. That you're what people want to be like, what people want to look like is you, pile 3. You're what people strive to be. Okay? Message for you. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my pile 3? Oh, that one's sticking out. We have car accident. Oh my gosh, guys. Car accident, flat tire, clash, slippery road, resuscitation, toxic spill, rush hour, pile up, mountain roads, hit and run, paralyzed, drunk driver, DOA, military transport, car chase, twisted metal, insurance, DUI. So this is a very specific message. There's a few messages coming through. One of them is very specific, so it's going to be for just a few of you, okay? They realize now that you may have been in an accident. That's coming through. You may have been in some kind of accident that slowed you down, okay? And I'm so sorry that you went through that, pile 3. And it may have been a really bad accident, actually, or you may have had some sort of medical emergency. You may, if that's the case. If it's not, then don't, just disregard it. It's not your message. It's for someone in the group. Maybe it wasn't your fault, could have been a drunk driver or something like this. But they're realizing that it's not going to hold you back. It's not going to hold you back. You're going to go from dealing with an ugly situation to dealing with a beautiful one. That's what they're realizing about you now, is that you're not going to stay stuck there, pile 3. You are not going to stay stuck with this, some misfortune that befell you. You're not going to stay there. Okay, now I'm talking to the whole group. If some misfortune befell you where something went wrong, okay, they're realizing that you are not going to stay stuck there. You're going to rise to the heights, regardless of where you've been, okay? Regardless of it. But they're realizing that you dealt with limiting circumstances. You didn't just have everything handed to you. It wasn't all easy. You actually came from a situation that was broken, and you're transcending it. You're overcoming it. Okay, this Saturnian energy of limitation that was placed upon you, you're pushing past it. And you are influencing others also. That's what I'm seeing. You're influencing others with your energy and your ability to stand strong and overcome any limitations that were placed upon you. Okay, so let's take a look at what other messages for you, pile 3. So what do they realize now about my pile 3? That one. Attraction. Ooh. They realize now, pile 3, that you're very attractive. Remember I said something about you being a model? They're realizing now that you're very attractive. You are building a body that is considered the ideal. Gorgeous. You're beautiful. You wear beautiful colors, beautiful clothes. Something like this. Okay, so pile 3, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't, so I'm recording it now. I've pulled some cards out for you. So we got number 68. So pile 3, they're realizing now that you had a fall. You know, that poem, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Humpty Dumpty, you know, you fell. You had some incident, some accident occurred. They saw you go down and they saw you come up. They're realizing that you are able to push through struggles and come out, not only like overcome them, but you're stronger than ever. You're better than ever. Maybe even learn from the fall, what to avoid. Next, we got love hurt. This could have to do with a relationship. It could be that you've had, you know, falls that they've seen you fall in. You may have had like a Saturn retrograde or something, and you were going through a bunch of problems. They saw these problems, but they also saw you emerge victorious through these problems, and not only overcome them, but but transcend them. So an example may be that you were in a car accident, okay, and maybe you had a cute little Honda or something, and then that Honda, you know, disappeared. It was totaled. It was left. The next thing they know, you turned up with a Tesla, or you turned up with a Mercedes, or something very nice like this, okay? And their jaw hit the floor. They're like, what? So not only did you know, come from a place where things were busted, you're stronger than ever, pile 3. Stronger than ever. We're getting kinship. So what I'm getting from this, pile 3, is they're realizing that you are in good company. That you may have, you know, strong people around you, or you may have found someone who works better for you. I'm seeing with that you may have had trouble in relationships also, and if you did, if maybe you had a bad breakup, well, you're reunited with that person now, and things are better than ever. Or that breakup was you know, that was good riddance to bad rubbish, and you found your soulmate now. This is what they're thinking of you. They're realizing now that you are possibly even just really good at loving yourself, with kinship appearing. And you're totally content. You don't feel like you're lacking. They know you don't feel like you're lacking. They've gotten this message, okay? Next, we're getting cleansing waters. We have purification activates vibrant life force. Guys, I feel like they're seeing you healing. They've watched you heal. They're realizing that you've healed yourself. Perhaps you do mud baths, or you've done healing bath soaks with herbs and spices and all kinds of things. They're realizing that, you know, it's like maybe you went to a spa or rehabilitative spa or something like this, and they have rejuvenated you and brought you back to yourself. You're like a baby again, okay? It's amazing. They're realizing that you've come full circle. In fact, you've done better. You've transcended, okay? Okay, spirit guides, what do they realize now about my pile 3? I'm liking that one. Okay, we're getting a distant journey. Number 5. The familiar has served you well, but it's time to discover who you are beyond its borders. New worlds and new experiences await if you are willing to let go and take the first step. Exactly. Remember we mentioned something over here about movement towards adventure? You're bold, pile 3. They're realizing now that you are ready and willing. You're more than ready and willing to break through barriers and go on to the next level. This is next level stuff. We keep talking about ascension, you know, spiritually, you know, career wise, whatever it is that you've been involved in. They realize now that you're the type to bust through barriers or bust through glass ceilings and take yourself to the next level. Okay? You're willing to go into places that are unfamiliar even in order to find yourself and be to find your height, okay? To find the heights that you want to reach. See how you're levitating, you're flying. You know, you're willing to go into unfamiliar territory in order to get there. Okay? Spirit guides, what do they now realize? What do they realize now about my pile 3? About my pile 3? Getting that one. We are getting joyful moments. Oh my gosh, guys, they're realizing now that you're really happy. Whether you're with someone, whether you're not, wherever it is you are in your journey, they realize now that you are glowing, you're beautiful, you're happy, you're doing very, very well. And discipline has brought you there. You've worked through some really challenging energies, and you have come out emerged shining, beautiful, glowing. You are gorgeous, pile 3. That's what they think of you. You're attractive, you're gorgeous, you look like a model. Okay, that's what they realize about you now, is that you've come through, maybe you came through an ugly duckling stage or something like this. You are gorgeous. That's what they think of you. That's what they realize about you now. Sure, guys. What do they realize about my pile 3 now? Realize about my pile. Okay, we got that one. Okay, pile 3, we're getting head in the clouds. Oh my gosh, guys. Look, you're in the clouds here. You're levitating there. Look, you're in the clouds. Pile 3, they're realizing now that you have your head and your eyes set on something greater than where you're at now. That you're always reaching for higher and higher and higher. It's, wherever you're at is never enough. That's what they're realizing about you, pile 3. If like I'll give you an example. If someone looks at you and you're like, oh, you have a good job, you have a nice house, you've got this going, you got a great relationship. That's not the end of the story for you. They're realizing that is not the end. You don't go with the status quo. You don't go with what people think. Oh, well, that should be enough for you. You're like, no, I'll tell you when I've had enough. All right, like you're always going for better and better and better and better and better. That's who you are, pile 3. That's what they realize about you. I'm so very happy to see this energy in you. It's very inspiring. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If it resonated for you, please give it a thumbs up. I would love to hear a comment from you below. If you don't have anything to say in particular, feel free to leave me some emojis. I'd really appreciate it. This encourages the algorithm to help the channel grow and attract our soul tribe. Take very good care of yourself, okay? And I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to your reading, pile 4. So we're going to be answering the question today, what do they realize about you now? We have fool's gold here, pyrite. Okay, I'm getting that gold energy. So they realize about you now that you're very positive, pile 4. You're very positive. You're full of positivity. You're full of abundance and good luck. We got all the wild field of sunflowers. There's so many of them. You are abundant, pile 4. They're realizing this about you. They're realizing about you that you are very happy, you're very joyful, you're very happy-go-lucky, that you have things work out for you. You're lucky too. You just have a lot of goodness in your life. They're also realizing about you, pile 4, that you seem enlightened, actually. Very understanding of life and the energies that are going through, passing by all around you. You're not just naively happy, and then when something comes along, you're like, oh, downtrodden, okay? You're happy regardless. You're happy. You just have learned how to channel that energy and own it. You own happiness, regardless of what is going on with you. Also getting that you're very abundant. You may also they're realizing about you that you're very popular or well known. The sun card, the sun is seen all over the world. No matter what culture or part of the world you're in, everyone knows what the sun is. You may be very popular. They're realizing that you're well known. Okay. They're also realizing about you, my beautiful pile 4, that you are full of vitality and you're very, you have a lot of energy and you're very optimistic. You're you're positive minded. That's what they're realizing. Okay. You're not a pessimist. You're an optimist. All right. Pile 4. They also realizing that you're very successful and you have a lot of pleasure and you celebrate things. You celebrate life, pile 4. All right, let's take a look at your energy card. Spirit guides. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the cards extemporaneously this time because I'm realizing that I would like to engage you more in this process and that lets your energy come through more strongly. We're going to pull the cards right in front of you and that's going to enhance the magic of these readings. I think you're going to like it more this way. All right, let's go ahead and shuffle and figure out what they realize about you now, pile 4. What do they realize about my pile 4? Domination. Ooh, pile 4. So they realize about you, pile 4. We're getting Mars in Sagittarius. That you take action. You're assertive when it comes to life, okay? You take action. You're not laid back. Okay, that's what they're thinking about you. Realize about you, Pile 4. You take life, you take the bull by the horns. That's the word terms that was coming to me. You take the bull by the horns, Pile 4. You don't sit back, lay around. This is part of why you're so successful too, is what they're realizing is that you go out there and you engage life. You may be very adventurous, you're assertive, and you're adventurous. I mean, that's a double whammy, right? You go out and you seek life out. This is what they're realizing about you. They also realize that you might be very athletic. I remember I mentioned that you're full of vitality. So they're realizing now that you have a lot of energy. Even if they don't see you being athletic all the time, they just feel that you're full of energy. They realize now that if anyone tries to challenge you, you're up for the challenge, Pile 4. You are up for the challenge, okay? You don't play. Yeah, you don't play. And you will dominate that which seeks to dominate you, Pile 4. Also, they're realizing that you are very spiritual. You may be religious, okay? You may be very religious. And it doesn't matter what religion. You might be Muslim, you might be Christian, you might be Buddhist, you might be into Hinduism. My point is that they feel like you're religious. And if you're not religious, Pile 4, then they feel that you are very enlightened spiritually. You're spiritually enlightened. You just give off a very content, pleased. You're pleased with life. You're pleased to be here, Pile 4. You're pleased to engage life. And it's like you're not just running through and just looking for thrills. You are actually, you understand deeply what you're taking part in, and you love it, and you engage it, and you're all in. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. What do they realize now about my Pile 4? We have sundering. Oh my gosh, the sun and sundering. Isn't that interesting? So sundering comes from the word, when you put, when they do the marital vows and they say, may no man cast you asunder, or something like this. Sundering is splitting something apart, I think. Yeah, splitting something apart or breaking something apart, okay? But, so, Pile 4, they're realizing about you now that you break things up. You engage. You don't allow things to remain untouched. You touch things, you engage things, you break things apart. You are an instigator almost. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. Let's get more information on this. They may feel that you are a fighter too. Okay? They're realizing about you now that you're a fighter, that you're a warrior. We see someone fighting here, we see a woman here with a female warrior with a sword, and we see wrestlers here. So they realize that you are a wrestler, a warrior. You're full of vitality, you're full of energy, and you're willing to fight for what you believe in. Okay? Spirit guides, let's keep going here. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Let's take a look at the energies here. We have well, number 8. We got Cancer, well, deeper meaning, community, hidden emotions, nourishing, social resources, true feelings, support, savings, perception, sustenance, looking deeper, provided for, consciousness. Again, Pile 4. They feel that you have access to a deep well of lots of things, okay? A deep well of meaning. Remember I told you they view you as enlightened and having understanding of the energies that play in your life, okay? You're not on the surface just skating through. You understand what is happening, okay? They realize now that you have deep pockets also, right? Resources wise, materially, monetarily. Also, I'm seeing like when it comes to community and social resources, they feel that you're plugged into the community. Okay, remember I said you're popular, so it's like you know everybody, or like they realize now that you know everybody, or you're well connected, or you have a rich network. You're well connected. They also feel like money wise, you may have deep pockets. You have a lot of money. That you are able to sustain yourself. It's like you don't want for anything. Powerful. That's what they're realizing about you. You have access to a deep well of lots of things. Spiritually, financially, socially, you name it. perception-wise. Maybe you're well-read or well-studied. You really maybe you've read some books, you studied some spiritual texts, and you have a deep understanding spiritually of what is going on in the world. Wow, Pile 4. Okay, let's keep going here. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? We'll go with that one. We have Watchers, transpersonal. Oh my gosh, guys. Wow. So, Pile 4, they realize now that despite how much of a fighter you are, you know, and standing up for certain things, and, you know, being almost like a warrior, and, you know, almost, you almost get a strong sense of egotism. But that's wrong, okay? They realize that despite these traits you have in you, okay, it's almost like I feel like you may engage in trying to force people or trying to get people to see things a certain way. You may engage in that sometimes, okay? But despite being like this, so you may be like you may try to convert people to your way of seeing things or your religion or something like this, or you may, you know, you may crack people's minds open. You are the type to convert people. Okay, perhaps to your religion or to seeing, you know, maybe imparting certain wisdoms to people so that they can see beyond where they're at. This is what they're realizing about you. They're realizing that despite this, which almost seems egotistical, you are not. You really very much relate to the transpersonal. You go beyond the personal, okay? You're not caught up in those smaller states of consciousness where it's me, I, all this. You relate to things from a greater level of consciousness, okay? You're not limited to personal identity. That's another way to say it. They're realizing that you relate to and interact with the world from that greater sense of I, right? They realize about you now that you're not playing on a small level, Pile 4, okay? That spiritually, it's like you've ascended. You're like an ascended master, Pile 4. Who are you, okay? We're getting some powerful cards for you here, Pile 4, okay? You've made a strong impression on this person that you are beyond the personal, okay? But that is amazing energy coming through for you, Pile 4. Almost godlike, you know? Wow. Okay, so what do they realize about my Pile 4 now? Go with that one. Oops. Oh my goodness. We're gonna pick a couple of cards from this stack of cards. You got how to earn respect. And what do they realize now about my Pile 4? You got this one. And let's get a couple more for these smaller cards here. Okay. What do they realize now about my Pile 4? And what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Okay, so Pile 4, they feel like you know how to earn respect. I mean, it just says it right there. You've earned their respect. They realize now that you've earned the respect of many, Pile 4. A lot of people respect you because they can sense this in you. You're a powerful person. You're full of vitality. You may be you may be a celebrity of some type, or someone who's well known, maybe in certain religious or spiritual circles. You resonate a very potent and powerful energy that others can sense. It's palpable, you know, and you've earned the respect of many. This is what they realize about you now. We have footwear, okay? So Pile 4, they realize that maybe you have a nice shoe collection. That's just this message for a few of you, okay? They like your footwear. They realize that you pay attention to your feet. Maybe you take good care of your feet. I'm seeing some feet here. And you have strong feet, or you are well grounded. Perhaps you're grounded within yourself. Yeah, you're grounded in yourself. So you're a very interesting mix. I feel like, you know, you're grounded and you engage life. You don't avoid life. You're not a monk, okay? You fight spiritual battles and you engage life, okay? You don't run away from life. You get your hands dirty. At the same time, you purify and you transmute that energy, and you're also coming at it from a higher point of view, from a higher level, okay? Fascinating. Okay, this is what they realize about you now. We got stuck and vampire, okay? So they're realizing about you now that you don't stay stuck. You don't stay stuck. People don't get to hold you down. You don't get held down, Pile 4. You don't. Anybody tries to leech off you, you can shake them off. You are very powerful, Pile 4. Like we said, we saw sundering. You're able to shake away or break away from that which is limiting you very easily. Even supernatural forces can't hold you back. Negative supernatural forces can't hold you down, hold you back. You don't stay stuck. You keep it moving. You engage life. You're not afraid. You're powerful. You're spiritual. Wow, Pile 4. This is what they realize about you now, okay? Let's move into your next set of energies. Okay, so what do they realize about you, Pile 4? Pile 4 now. Let's see what's coming out. That one. We are getting ties, okay. They're realizing, remember I said something about you having a big network? They're realizing that you've got strong ties to people in the community, okay? They're realizing now that you're well connected. You got lots of friends, you're popular, you know a lot of people, or you have a very, you know, you may be connected to like a tight-knit circle of friends, something like this. You got some strong ties in the community or in your life. People who stand by your side, people who've known you a long time, you go out with, you socialize with them. You're very social. They also feel that you're very social. That's what they're realizing about you now, is that you're connected to the many. Oh, all right, let's move on to the next, and we'll put it all together at the end, Pile 4. If you're enjoying this reading, please put a like on it for me. Really appreciate that. Let's take a look. Let's keep looking here. What do they realize about you, Pile 4? Thank you, Spirit. We have third house, communication. Beautiful. Whew, my goodness. Pile 4. We got Gemini in Mercury. Yeah, that's Mercury. So communication, that's a double whammy, okay? You are big on communicating. Yeah. You may have a really massive social media account where you got thousands of followers or millions of followers or something like this. Or you got a big social network. Okay, and you may come from a big family. That's what they're realizing about you. They're realizing also that you share your thoughts with a certain crowd or group of people. You impart your wisdom onto them, and they cleave to you, Pile 4. They're realizing that you're encircled. You have a massive circle all around you. Like you are able to influence a lot of people, actually. Yeah, you're able to influence a lot of people. You actually convert a lot of people over to you to see things your way, or to you may be a leader. You may be a spiritual leader of some kind. That's coming through as well. And you may have like a social media profile or account or platform where you reach your followers or something like this, okay? And that's what they're realizing about you. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Okay, we're getting that one. We're gonna need some help getting that one off the CEO energy. Oh my gosh, Pile 4, who are you? Who are you, Pile 4? So it looks like you are at the helm of some organization. Yeah, you may be. I'm seeing a leadership role popping up. You may have a big company. This is what they realize about you now, that you tend to take control of situations. You have got some serious boss vibes, Pile 4. It says I'm the boss. Okay, they realize now that you're doing very well in the business world. You're making a lot of money doing whatever it is that you do. That you are successful and you're at the top of your game, and you have a huge following. You are doing better than most. A lot of people have sort of latched onto you because of the power of your persona, your personality. Okay. You give off boss vibes. People want to do what you say because they trust your leadership. They feel like you're smart, you're wise, and you're not caught up in your petty ego thing. But you're transpersonal, and people can see this in you, and this is why they sort of gravitate towards you. That's what they're realizing about you now, Pile 4. Okay, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? You might have your own business too. You might be a business owner. You might be an entrepreneur and be doing very well. Your stock prices are rising. Your profits are rising. That kind of thing. We have death. Okay, very interesting. They're also realizing that you've ended a certain phase of yourself, a certain way of doing things. Okay, you've put an end to some aspect. It could be that maybe you used to be more active in the spiritual community. Maybe you're not as active anymore, but you left a mark. Pile 4, don't worry. Okay, they're realizing that you maybe have stepped away from the spiritual and you focus more on the business side of things. That's a possibility. That's a message coming in for some of y'all. They're realizing now that you have put an end to a certain phase, something you were engaged in, you no longer do. Okay? Maybe in focus of making money, or in focus of tending to running a business. So you may have maybe dialed down your spiritual life and are now focusing more on your monetary, your financial success. Okay, that's a possibility. Let's keep going so we can get more information. What do they realize now about my Pile 4? We're getting bullseye, focus. Yes, you're focused on something. You've ended an aspect or phase of something so you can focus on nailing something else. Okay, you may be, like I said, you're you're targeting financial success at this point. Perhaps because of your engagements and the things your interests and all the things you explored in the past, you have now built a business and you're having to shift focus to the business side of things. Again, I'm getting that vibe again, that you're not having to focus on that and let something else die, maybe for now. And you are hitting the ball out the park. That's a possibility. Where you're trying to focus because you are trying to attain a certain goal. This is what they're realizing about you, okay? Spirit guides, what are they realizing now about my Pile 4? We're getting that one. Okay. Alright, so okay. They're realizing now, Pile 4, that you're very popular. Again, we're coming back to this idea that you might be like like a celebrity or a famous person, someone that a lot of people know. Maybe you're a musician and people have enjoyed your music and know who you are. They can identify you. They feel like you're number one, okay, at what you do. You might be on stage somewhere. People realize about you now that you're a performer. That's coming through for some of y'all. People realize now that you're popular, you're famous, you're well liked, you got a posse, you got a group of people, you got a following. Wow, Pile 4. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Oh, okay, we got nightmare. Ooh. Okay, let me try that again. It comes back to yours. I want to be certain because this one just kind of fell out and I didn't really get to shuffle or ask the question really. What do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now? That one. We have alien person. Okay, so we're back to that energy. Okay. So Pile 4, they're realizing now that you may be taking a break from all this, Pile 4. It's possible. It's possible that you used to be very famous, popular, and now you're taking time to you maybe it's possible you burned yourself out a little bit. It's possible you ran into some sort of health problem, or you realized you got run down. Maybe you were giving too much of yourself and getting too much and being too extroverted to the point where it started maybe impacting you in some type of negative way. You may have fallen ill, that's possible, and you're now undergoing some sort of treatment plan. Or it could be as simple as you just got burned out and you're getting rest. People are now realizing that you're resting because you've done a lot. You've converted souls. You've entertained people. You've ran a business. You've hit the ball out the park. You've supported community. You've supported a group. You've been a CEO. You've earned the respect of many. You really put yourself out there on a grand scale, Pal 4. But it feels like you may have ended this for a time. Maybe this was your past, or you're taking a break. And this is what people are realizing about you right now. Okay, guys. What do they realize now about my Pal 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pal 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pal 4? Okay. So I'm getting also, Pal 4, that you... Maybe someone's realizing that maybe you were not preyed on, but like something sucked the life out of you. It could be that all of this sort of sucked the life out of you. You're a very powerful person, but you're not infinite, right? I mean, you are infinite on one level, right? But you, on a greater level, you are. We all are. But on a personal level, you're not infinite. And it could be that maybe there's a crowd that got around you that's sort of like, leached off your energy a little bit, okay? And this is maybe what's leaving you a little drained. That's a possibility, okay? If it doesn't resonate, don't take it, okay? We have the Athena. Pal 4. Yeah, you're a warrior. People are realizing about you right now that you're a fighter. You're a fighter. You're strong. You're powerful. We got a woman with a spear here. We got a woman with a sword. We got a warrior, a wrestler. You are a warrior. You're fighting something too. Yeah. They are realizing about you that you are strong and you're not going to succumb. If you're ill, they're realizing that you're fighting it and you're not going to succumb to this illness, whatever it is. Okay? It could be a very serious illness, that's possible. Or it could be, maybe it's not, maybe it's just exhaustion. But you are standing strong. This is what they're realizing about you. Could be also that there's someone in your life who is protecting your health right now. For some of you, this could be true. They're realizing that you got someone who's like, no, back off. No, maybe they're like, we want to see Pal 4. We want Pal 4 to come out. And there's someone who is defending you right now and gatekeeping people out and saying, no. Pal 4 needs to rest. So it reminds you of Diana. Diana protected childbirth or, these sort of vulnerable energies like recuperating, healing. There's someone who's guarding and protecting you, okay? That's what people are realizing about you. That's true for some. If it doesn't resonate for you, don't worry about it. You can let others have it. Also getting that others are just viewing you as strong, but you're standing strong despite being tired, okay? Despite being, maybe under the weather right now, or maybe even fighting some major illness. They feel that you are strong. Okay, that's what people are realizing about you. That it could be also that maybe that you make appearances, even though you kind of made closed out certain aspect of your life or something like this, or you're resting. You still sometimes make appearances, which lets people think, oh, Pal 4 is still kicking. Pal 4 is still strong. They're just not wanting to put themselves out there like on a major way right now. Okay, that's a possibility. Okay, let's keep going here. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pal 4? Just want that shiny one. Perfect. Okay, so let's take a look then at what this energy reveals. We have rest. Exactly, you're resting right now. So remember I said it could be an illness, or it could be just exhaustion. You're resting. Okay, they are realizing about you right now that you're resting. You've had your time in the sun. You've had major success. You've put it out there. But now you're on hiatus, okay? Now you're on a sabbatical. You're resting. And you might be a little run down, I'll be honest, okay? That's what I'm seeing, that you're a little run down. You may be a famous musician, even, okay? You may be a famous performer. You put yourself on stage, or you may have a huge following, and I feel like they're realizing about you right now that you're letting things go fallow. You're resting, okay? You don't always have to put yourself out there like that. Pile number 4, okay? Definitely get your rest, all right? I'm in full support of that. You know, it's good to have a good balance too, so things are sustainable. But it looks like you made a big effort. You made a big push. You put yourself out there, and people were inspired by your energy, and you followed your calling in that regard. So that's good. But maybe when you have your comeback, just as advice, you know, put it out in a balanced manner. Maybe go a little bit slower if you do choose to come back to it, because you know the candle's light has been put out, but it can always be relit, right? The candle is still there. So when you light it back up, you'll burn a little slower. All right, let's move on. What do they realize about my? What do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? We'll go, oh, that one's falling out. We'll go with that. Ooh, my goodness. They realize, look, we got dollar signs. Pile 4, they realize now that you're rich. You are rolling in it, okay? You got deep pockets, like I said earlier. That you're well off, that you're rich, and you're resting, okay? You're laughing to the bank. Money is pouring out for you. So you're on a hiatus, but I feel like it might be a stream of income kind of situation where the money is still rolling in. Perhaps you put out albums and you're still getting royalties. You've put out products, or maybe you've put out products and they're still being bought. Or you made some digital content and it's still being consumed and watched, and ad money still rolling in. Whatever it is, they realize that you have money coming in, Pile 4. You're doing very well, actually. Okay, so you've had some monetary gain from this popularity or that you've had, and this is what they realize about you. What do they realize about you now, Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize about my Pile 4? Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pile 4? I hope you guys appreciate how I am pulling these cards out extemporaneously. This is kind of what I had decided would serve you best, is to see the cards be pulled out right in front of you. I hope you enjoy that approach. We have behavior interpretation. Pile 4. They realize about you now that you're a world-class performer, okay? And they love to watch the way you behave. You are a big inspiration point to many, and you know, a lot of the things you do and have said, and a lot of the product you put out, the things you've done, are worthy of interpretation. Okay, they're worthy of being studied, of being watched. Perhaps you're a performer, you're a dancer, and people love to watch the way you move, you sing, you dance, you do your thing. They love to study you. Okay, they realize about you now that you're being watched, that your behavior is being interpreted. People are speculating about you as well. Okay, they're realizing that everything you do, it's almost like everything you do is a symbol. Okay, everything you do is symbolic, and it can be assessed or analyzed, and wisdom gotten out of it. Okay, you're that big of a deal, Pile 4, apparently. Wow. Okay, let's keep looking here. What do they realize now about my Pile 4? Spirit guides now about my Pile 4. We have buffalo. Oh my gosh, abundance. So back in the day, or with the Native Americans, your wealth was determined by how much buffalo you had. Okay, and if buffalo are a sign of wealth in certain cultures, and so again, people realize that you are Mr. or Miss Deep Pockets. You're Miss, Mr. or Miss, Money Pockets or something like this. Okay, you're richy rich. Okay, people realize now that you're very wealthy, that you're very well off, that you have money rolling in, that you have deep pockets. It keeps coming up. Okay, people realize now. Perhaps you have some footwear that you sell. You have some product that's been marketed or branded. Your stock prices are rising, and you're just getting richer and richer. Okay, you may have had something happened recently. You had some sort of big boost in sales, or something like this, and you have had a big deluge of profit come in. Okay, and they're realizing this about you. What do they realize about my pal four? Spirit guides. What do they realize? Okay, that one fell out. We're gonna honor that. We're gonna honor that pal four. Let's take a look. Overcoming obstacles. Yeah, you may be undergoing some sort of challenge at this time. They're recognizing you may be undergoing some kind of challenge, but they are confident that you're going to overcome it. That you are overcoming this obstacle, whatever it is. Okay, so it could be in relation to you taking a break. Yeah, they're realizing that you are capable of overcoming. If there's a big boulder in your way, you're capable of figuring out how to remove it. For just a few of you, you could be dealing with a major health problem. Okay, I don't want to say maybe like cancer or multiple sclerosis or something. I don't know. God, I hope not. Hopefully it's just that you're tired. But they're realizing that you will overcome it. Okay? They realize that you're on a road. See, you're in a pathway. You're overcoming it. Okay? It's not going to keep you down. Okay? That's what they're realizing about you. That you're strong too. That you're powerful like a buffalo. Buffaloes are big, giant, powerful creatures. They can withstand a lot. That they're like juggernauts. They'll crash through anything. When they got that boulder, kind of like in the way, and you're the buffalo. You can push that out of the way. This is what they're realizing about you. That you're powerful enough, especially spiritually, to do so, and maybe even physically. Maybe you're very athletic. All right, let's keep going here. Spirit guides. What do they realize now about my Pal 4? This could be maybe the medical professionals you're dealing with are realizing that you're very strong and you'll be able to get through this. Let's take a look. We have warning. The road ahead is dark and foreboding. Remember, we talked here about a road. You're on a road. Okay? You're dealing with something, for sure. Top 4, I'm so sorry if it's been difficult. And you have my condolences on anything you're going through right now. Hinting of trials yet to come. This is your opportunity to reevaluate the situation and decide whether or not to proceed. So again, I keep seeing there's a path and something's in the way. A path, something's in the way. So here's what I'm seeing. They're realizing, Pal 4, that maybe you've had a health scare. Maybe you've been warned that something you were doing before is not something you can do anymore. Maybe you need to reevaluate. They realize now that you're first of all that you're powerful. That you're powerful, and that you've had a warning, and that you're heeding. So you're restructuring and reorganizing how you do things because you've gotten a warning. Okay. I'm also another message coming through Pal 4 is they're realizing that you are giving people a warning. You warn people. Listen, don't do this to me, or don't be like this with me. It's not going to be like this any longer, or something like this. Okay, they're realizing that you've given that warning now. The warnings have been given all around. Okay, all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at we got a couple more cards for you, and they're going to wrap up the reading. Spirit guides, what do they realize now about my Pal 4? Spirit guides, getting that one sticking out. Okay, we have lean on me. Okay, yeah, you've got someone in your life, and I kind of picked up on that earlier. Oh my goodness, my candle went out. Let me fix that. Okay, so very interesting symbolism there with the candle going out. And I don't know if it was on when we started. I'm gonna have to look at the video. I didn't notice. But the very interesting thing is I took it out to give it more energy, but I found out that it was on a 5-minute timer, and so therefore what that tells me, that's a message for you, Pal 4. What they realize about you now is that this candle, oh my gosh, look, candle out, the candle was out, the candle's out. Isn't that amazing resonance, Pal 4? Is that your light will be back on. they realize that you will turn the light back on. Okay, you will. It's temporary. That's what they're realizing about you. It's not, you're not going to stay down, pile 4. That's what they're realizing about you. We got lean on me, number 34. I'm also seeing that they realize now that you got someone in your life who is supporting you, guarding you through this. Okay? Yes. Perhaps they're at the door. They're protecting. I got that dragon. Like someone, look, we got the woman, Athena. We got someone guarding the door with the sundering. And that's just more of the messages that are coming through psychically for me, is that you are being protected right now. That's what they're realizing about you. There's someone protecting you. You may have someone by your side who is saying, hey, lean on me during this time. I've got you. I've got you. I've got you. And you're being supported right now. You're being guarded right now. You're being protected right now. This is what they're realizing about you, that you need someone to lean on, and you have someone in your life to lean on. This could be your partner, your mate, you know, something like this. Okay, what do they realize about my pile 4 now? Okay, we'll go with that one. So pile 4, we have number 4. What goes around comes around. So pile 4, they realize about you now that, you know, you're not immune to the forces of life. You know, you may be larger than life, right? You may almost appear godlike to some of these people, your fans, your supporters, your community, but you know, you are an excellent example to people that there are limitations, and like it says, what goes up, well, you know, what comes around, what goes around what goes around comes around, but also what goes up must come down. So they're realizing about you that, you know, you have to respect the cycles of life, and there is a cycle here going on. So just as you are resting, you're going to come around again. So there's a sense of return. There's a sense of expectation, pile 4, that you will return, that you will come back around again. That is what people are realizing about you, is that you're not gone forever, pile 4. The candle, like we saw, will be relit, and you will come back around again. And that is what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 4. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Pardon me, if you found it resonant, please give it a thumbs up. If you leave a comment for me down below, I would love to hear from you. I'd love to chat back. If you have nothing to say, I would really appreciate it if you left some emoji comment there, just like emojis, as this helps the algorithm promote my channel and helps us grow our soul tribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I really loved having your energy here. It was an honor doing this reading for you. Take very good care of yourself, okay? Rest up, and I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye!